Many a times do we not wish to handle it all and get the best grades in our life? Do we not aspire to be a supermom and a Wonder Woman? And then at times we realize we are not superhumans but humans and we fail at times. Welcome, goddesses. Welcome to today's episode of Planet Aphrodite with Meena. This free day, we have Goddess who has happily juggled many balls, including the one of self love, of taking care of herself. She is a serial entrepreneur. She has won many national and international awards. Her work is in different countries. So put your hands together for Goddess Bhavini Mehta. So, hi Bhavini, how are you?
Hi, Meenal. Great. So good to see you again.
So good to see you. So, goddesses, put your hands together for Bhavini Mehta from Ahmedabad, India. And today we are going to have a wonderful, wonderful episode with her, wherein she has been jungling a lot more balls that you can imagine. You know, she is a mom, she owns two companies, and she has created her own future. You know, we all have dreams, we all have aspirations. Some people go for it all 100%, and she's one of them. Maybe she gave 120%, and we'll get to know what happened with that. So Bhavini, tell us your journey.
Yeah. The journey started, most of the people, when they ask me about my journey, how did you decide, did you always dream of having two businesses? Did you always want to be an entrepreneur? My answer is no. It all is a beautiful accident that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very humble background, coming from a low middle class, salary class, background, where the dad was working with an MNC, mom was a teacher, a typical middle class background,
right.
wherein all the kids have one dream: study well, get a good job, then climb the corporate ladder. So I was born with those dreams. I was very very satisfied with the kind of structure I had, and that's what I always wanted to do in life. And hence I chose to do my MBA in finance and get into banking, and then eventually discovered that banking is very monotonous for me. The kind of person I am, I would want to put my learning to action rather than following the rules. Banking is very rules driven. You don't have a lot of scope or to use your brains, so to say. So that's when I decided to move to investments, wherein there was a lot of scope to play with what I had studied. And then, as the fate had it, it was the market crash, and that was the time when I was pregnant. And, it's like, there were layoffs left, right, and center. And there was a lot of pressure on me. So I decided to quit, and I decided to, okay, let me take a break. Let me take care of the baby that I've committed myself to take care of, because I was 5 months pregnant by then. And I was like, okay, let me take a break. Let me just, spend some time, because I started developing health issues. As you may know that, during a market crash, if you're into a financial institute, mainly focusing on investment, it's the toughest time to be in.
Right.
I was like, okay, let me take a break. And during my break, I was suddenly unemployed after a long, long period of employment. I started working when I was 17, just to support my studies, support the family, So I was suddenly unemployed, and I just did not know how to make use of this time. I just didn't know what to do. What do you do when you don't have to get up, get ready, and go out?
Right.
So I was kind of struggling with so much of empty space in my life then. I just picked up a book called 4 Hour Work Week, and I got my my first business, which is 11 years now, 11 years old now. Started from that book. That's the book that gave me an idea to start a virtual assistant service company. So it's very funny. That's how it started. But I never dreamt of being an entrepreneur. And now, my profile would say a lot of introductions, on written interviews would say that I'm a serial entrepreneur. And I feel like, okay, this is absolutely not what I had dreamt to be.
Right.
It just happened so that, the opportunities kept flowing, and I kept identifying them and capitalizing on them. So, that's pretty much the story about, juggling multiple balls. I did not intend to, but I thought, I just went with the flow without, worrying a lot about it. And that's what has enabled me to, successfully juggle a lot of balls, And it has not always been a pleasurable journey, or a journey that I would think about with a smile on my face. There were times when I was dropping balls. There was time when I was burning out. But that's the story that I'm going to share with all of you today. But yeah, so it has been a different kind of journey that started from being a very kind of a girl with limited ambitions of settling with a corporate, and going being okay with an organic growth of
Right.
climbing the ladder slowly, to moving to entrepreneurship, completely different side of work. And doing it all by myself. I don't have a co-founder with me, neither of my businesses.
Right.
So it has been quite a journey, and I think the key to this journey is just going with the flow and identifying opportunities and capitalizing on them, rather than
Beautiful.
sitting planning for the opportunities.
Wow, that was very interesting and very humbly you put it. If I say, the way you summarize your journey in such a simple fashion, but I'm sure it had more ups and downs than you are making it appear to be.
It did.
Yeah,
It did. I wouldn't deny. I wouldn't say that it was a cakewalk.
right.
Everybody has their own set of challenges.
True,
The key lies in how you take it, and
true.
what you do with those challenges. Yeah.
Beautiful. Very, very inspiring there. So, Bhavani, I'm very
Thank you.
curious at this. You're welcome. At this point in time, how did you face the challenge? Like everything what you had found the right opportunity, you have started working on it. And then on the way, what happened?
So the challenge started right from the beginning, when I decided to, that when I knew, when the realization struck me that there's no going back to the same industry at least for 2 years, right? Where the
Right,
markets are crashing and people are laying off. You
right,
can't go expect to get a job that
right,
you deserve in that
right,
scenario, right?
right,
And
right,
then I had a kid, having to leave her home and go was a completely different challenge.
right,
And third, because I was working as an employee, I did not have a lot of savings, right? So it was not the case wherein I can, okay, theek hai, ek factory dal dete hain, like we can just we can just start something, because capital is not a
right. Constraint. And you,
scarcity.
right,
It was a constraint. It was a big constraint.
right,
So anything that
right,
I had to do then was something that did not require money. Two,
right,
something that was not taking me away from my daughter.
right.
Uh, Third, I was still able to balance my work. And fourth, I was still able to learn new skills, because entrepreneurship was completely different for me.
Ball game.
Till
Yeah.
that time, I was only following instructions. I
Right.
just knew what my job description is. And in entrepreneurship, there's absolutely no job description, right? You have to
True.
identify, you have to make your own
Right.
job
Right.
description. So it was little challenging, to discover, okay, what do you do next? What do you do next? How do you handle it? What kind of challenges might come? So that was pretty challenging. So that was the first challenge, to identify something that I could do without money, without taking time from my daughter and things like that. So, but when I started you always have this notion in your head that you want to be perfect in what you do. When I was an employee, I was like, a star employee, you may call me. I was awarded with employee of the month and things like that, or every now and then. So I was so used to performing.
Right.
And when you are an employee, you have KRAs to identify
Right.
the effort that you've put in, right? The
Right.
value that you've created. But when
Right.
you're working on your business, there's nobody to acknowledge it, right?
Right.
So it was like a setback. And then I set pretty high standards for myself. I
True.
wanted to be the best mom, the best wife, the best daughter-in-law. I live in a joint family, right? So
Okay.
the best daughter-in-law, the best employer. I wanted to keep my team happy. I want to keep everybody happy. Basically,
Right.
that's how it works when you are an employee. Because
Right.
once you put in efforts and you do your job good, you do your job well, you're fine. Everything is
Right.
in place. But this was the biggest challenge. And in the quest of doing so, in the quest of performing, like getting an A plus in all these categories, I started burning myself bad. So what started happening was, I was nowhere in the list of my priorities. My list of priorities had 50 things, and I was not even one of them.
None.
Right? So I
Right.
was not even the 50th of it.
Right.
So which you can do for a short period of time, but that's not how you can live, because it takes away life from your life, right?
Right.
So
Right.
all that I was doing was hopping from one business to the other business, because I run two businesses. I have a daughter, I have a joint family to handle. It was like I was always jumping from home, work, two employees, because when your team starts growing, you have to manage a lot of emotional issues as well of the
Right.
employees.
Right.
So that was pretty challenging, and it was few years in that rut, I would say that rat race of trying to be better at everything that I do, and trying to put everything above myself. I was completely breaking down, and there was a spark that came then. I'm a fond of watching interviews of people who I admire,
Mm-hmm.
and I landed on India Nui's interview, wherein she was
Okay.
like, we girls, we want it all, but we can't have it all.
Right.
And we don't realize it. We
Right.
want it all, and we put
Right.
in all the time that we have. So I used to work 16 hours a day, still unhappy and not
Right.
content with the work that I had done, because you
Right.
can't keep everybody happy. You can't,
Right.
get an A plus everywhere despite putting in 16 hours a day. And that that particular clip, I just landed on a clip, right, of that interview. It was a snippet of 5 minutes wherein she says that I can't have it all, and which is what I have realized. So the power lies in realizing it, and then trying to put the process in place wherein you don't have to burn yourself. Like, she gave a tiny example of a daughter. When her daughter calls her, mom, can I have my video game time? So she has three questions, and her daughter lands on her assistant, and she has three questions. Have you done your homework? Have you eaten things? Have you practiced your musical instruments? If the answer to all three is yes, you can have 30 minutes, right? So this is, it was a simple, but what happens is when this, but because you switch your focus, you kind of get lost in that process, and you end up wasting time. So these are small things. She has created processes. She has created small processes to make sure that when she is working, she is focused, so that she can work with 100% efficiency and come back home faster, right? What we do is we try to mix up work and our other activities, like taking care of the kids at home in between. So what happens is you are busy all 16 hours, and still you don't have an efficient patch in it, because you're hopping, right? Your mind isn't a switch. You're working on a strategy, and then you flip and, oh mama, can I play video game? It's like, and then you come back to the strategy. By then you've lost it. You've
Right.
lost the thought of flow of thought. So that clip, 5 minutes clip, was very powerful. When she talks about the small techniques, she also talks about being okay with not being able to do things that others are doing, right? Because when your kid goes to school, they see parents who do not have a full-time occupation, right? Who do not have a job, or who do not work. So those are the parents who spend a lot of time with their kids, right? And it is natural for your kid to go and compare you with them. Like, their mama spends a lot of time with them. Their mama comes to the Wednesday tea party, or their mama comes for all the picnics that they arrange, which is something that you'll have to accept and be okay with. You have to let go yourself. You have to forgive yourself for not being able to make it every time. Because usually these things are during the work hours, and you will have to
Right.
take a chunk of your working day
Right.
to be able to be a part of that tea party. So this is again something that you said, that it is perfectly okay, because we live with a guilt, that you're not being a good mom. Even if I score A plus on all the fronts, and if you feel that your kid comes to you and tells you that you haven't done enough, that pinches you, right?
Right.
And you take it up on your ego to perform better there as well, and then that's how you start burning. So I think she has put it very beautifully, that the kids have now accepted it. And that clip changed my life, because then I started including my daughter in small things. And I rather than telling her that I can't come, I started telling her why I can't come. It's like, so now she has a complete picture. Otherwise, all that she had was a no from me, right? That you always say no, you always say you can't come, you always say there's work. So then, and I also felt that while doing that, I had a question in my mind: what if she feels that I don't have time for her? Which is not true. I care for her, but whatever you do, it's the first primary reason is you want to satisfy your desire of reaching a goal in your career. And the second thing is, whatever you do, you do have your kids at the back of your mind, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, you are doing it for them
Right.
as well.
Right.
So you have to translate it, you have to communicate it to them, and I feel that is the key, wherein they also start respecting you for what you're doing, rather than finding faults and finding the lacking in your parenting, or comparing you with others, other moms, they would compare. It still happens, and then I have to sit her down again and speak to her, and they're like, okay, we do so many things that they don't do, and so it's like, so that 5 minutes of clip actually changed my life in a way that I stopped burning myself out, right? I did not have I did not have any time to think about myself, about what I want, of my me time. So, and that's when I started incorporating all. It took time, of course, it's a process, right? So it took time to organize things, to create processes, to explain it, to convey it to my daughter, but it really worked. So I think this quest of scoring an A plus everywhere is really a lose-lose, and nobody gets. And despite doing all this, your kid is still going to come and tell you that you did not do something. So instead of trying to do that, I think trying to accept the fact that you can't score A plus everywhere, but right. A B plus or an A everywhere is great. It's awesome, right?
Right.
So that really changed my life.
Wonderful. That was very candid and coming from experience. Like,
you did, yes.
Yeah. So life either gives us what we want or it leaves us with lessons, right? So either or, which ways we are enriched, either, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Bhavini, there will be many goddesses who are listening to this interview right now, and they would want to know what step would have helped them, at this moment. What is one actionable gem that you would like to offer to them that you could give to younger Bhavini or to our goddesses?
Oh, one thing that I mentioned about the slip was I wish I could have seen it few years before. So I would have not burned myself out, so that is one gem that I wanted. Second was, we sometimes we really get lost thinking about a question if it will work, when you have some idea or if you have some opportunity that looks like an opportunity, and then you sit and you think more on it, then you think some more, then you think some more, and eventually you're like, maybe I can't make it big in this, and that's when you don't start, right? So I think that's a bigger failure, so because you're failing the system even before you started,
right?
So I think that's what most of us do. We sit and we think whether it is scalable or not, whether we have enough time to do it or not, whether we have enough money to do it or not, and most of the answers are no. No matter what opportunity you identify,
right.
No matter what,
right.
Even if you take an example of one of the most successful businesses, it never started as a successful business, right? It always, when you talk about Google or you talk about Facebook, it all started from either a garage startup or it was like very small. So I would call myself as a dining table startup, my startup as a dining table startup, because it started from a dining table. I started working for US sitting in India, right? So it was like an exact opposite
timeline, right?
So exact opposite timeline. So every time after post dinner when my dining table is clean, and that's when my work hours started. So it was I started small, and it doesn't matter how small you start. What matters is how you build it up. And if you sit before starting, if you sit and think about how you're going to build it up, it's not going to happen, because it is really overwhelming. Even the psychologists say that in short term, we humans always overestimate ourselves. If you ask yourself what is your goal for 1 year, you'd end up, chances are you'll end up overestimating your capabilities. But if I ask you your goal for 5 years and 10 years, you will underestimate yourself, because it's like compound interest. You build on what you have learned last year, right? And we don't factor that in. So I think if 11 years back, if somebody would have told me that I am going to reach here, I wouldn't have believed. It feels like a dream, because I, like everybody else, underestimated myself a lot. However, I'm glad that it did not stop me from taking the first step.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a really big gem there. Just taking that step, taking that leap of faith, building it up. The power of compound interest, the magic of compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world.
It might not work, right? It might not work, but if you don't do it,
it's already failed. Yes,
right?
Yes,
it's already failed, so might as well take that chance.
Wonderful, Bhavini. Wonderful. So, Bhavini, I'm sure our goddesses would like to know more about you, your companies, the projects that you are doing. How can they follow you on social media? What are your handles?
I'm not very active on social media. However, I do have Facebook pages,
Mm-hmm.
and so I have website. I'm very active
Okay.
on my emails,
Okay.
so they can check out my website and drop a message on a Facebook or Instagram. The links are already there on my website.
Okay.
Uh, I run two businesses. The first one is Infinity Business Solutions. The URL is idsforyou.com. I'll drop it for you so that you can add it.
Right.
And the other one is a publishing company. It's an international publishing house wherein we publish fiction and non-fiction, all non-academic publishing. And we publish, market, distribute it in 44 countries.
Wow.
So, these are the two businesses. We've been really, we're really getting a lot of traction in the publishing business right now because we have, we published like 18 titles. The publishing business is just 3 years old. We published 18 titles. 8 of them made it to the international bestsellers list.
Wow.
One of the titles was featured at the Frankfurt Book Fair, and we ended up selling five, rights to 5 books in the same series to an international traditional publisher. Those have been some really good wins for publishing, and we're
That's
planning to
interesting.
expand that. The other business is a virtual assistant company with a tech backing. So we provide virtual assistants to CEOs, CFOs, and top level management of small companies in US and Australia. Also, we expanded our reaches to we diversified into IT as well. So now we create software, customized software, ERP solutions, and CRM solutions for small and medium scale companies. So that has been business number one, and that is 11 years old. And publishing is just a 3-year-old baby, and it's my passion baby. It's because it started with my passion for reading. So and I'll drop my website URL for you so that you can add it to the interview and people can
Perfect.
follow me there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a
Thank
wonderful
you.
interviewing you. It was very wonderful sharing. And I must say, you when you share about you, it's very downplayed.
Because it was downplay, right? I don't want to start with, oh, I came from a very small background and I had big dreams. I did not have. I built
Yeah,
I built my dreams while I was dreaming. So it was not
right.
like a
That,
plan, a dream, then creating a plan and then executing it. It
yeah,
started the other way around. It,
you
it
have,
came with an opportunity and I started building it. And there's like, oh yeah, we can do this as well and we can do that as well. So yeah, I don't have a story. But this is, I feel it's okay to not have a story and to go with the flow and
awesome.
make it.
Very, very wonderful. Very wonderful. I'm sure, Goddesses, you have loved this interview as much as I have. And thank you, Bhavani, for your time, for your sharing, for your story. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Namaste.
so much, Meenal. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. In today's episode, Goddess Bhavani shared her amazing journey, the good, bad, and the ugly. How was her journey and how she took one foot in front of other to reach where she has reached today. So, goddesses, I'm leaving you with this thought. So, which step are you taking today towards a better, brighter future? And always remember, increase the dose of self love in your life. It can create miracles. See you next week on Free Day. Like and comment this episode and subscribe to this channel. See you next week on another episode with another goddess on Planet Aphrodite with Nina. Bye bye.